Alright guys, welcome back to another video. So from last video I talked about the drop-down tutorial on React, the part 1. So I was talking about that I'm going to make a video about it, the code formatter extensions, loop through an array, also the object, also the functional with class component, like the differences between the two. But before getting into that video, I was thinking that probably we should have a quick review or briefly describe what is Amazon services, like the different services on Amazon's, and how it benefits, like says React Native or the other services. Now let's get into this one. There's quite multiple of this that I have choose, and we can just quickly see what are some of the benefits and how it's going to benefit when we are using all these services. So the first one is Amazon Amplify. It's a framework, so you can see that the foundation of your cloud power the mobile or web apps. So you can already see that this is Apple, iPhone, iOS, Android, this web, and also this React. So what it does is that it amplify your apps built on flexible, scalable, reliable serverless backend. So we're going to look into what is serverless backend as well. And you can see that it's easy to use library, powerful tool chains, and beautiful UI components. So these are some of the categories like API, storage, hubs, cache, and so we're going to look into an image, like a structure of how to use this with the other services as well. Now let's get into the picture as seen here. So this is like create and switching between environment. So this is the AWS Amplify. So this is the developer. He divided into 3 environment. The first one is the dev environment using AWS Amplify. This is the testing environment, and this is the production environment. So you can see when using the AWS Amplify, the developer can easily switch between different environments as in here. So now let's get into serverless, as I mentioned here. So what is serverless? Okay, it's native architecture of the cloud that enable you to shift more of your operational responsibility to AWS. It increase innovative, allow you to build, run application and services without thinking about the server. So basically, we don't need to care about how to manage the server. Say back in the old day, we need to do all the management tasks or something. And you can see it's eliminate the infrastructure and management tasks such as server or operating system management, maintenance, and it allows you to scale your application with high availability, and it's handled for you. So the benefits is that it increase, but it lower the cost, the total cost of the ownership, and it means that the developer can focus on their core product instead of worrying about like how to manage and operate the server, also the runtime in the cloud. So it reclaim time, save time and energy that's spent on developing the product that scale and are reliable. So this is the benefit of it. The developer don't need to manage the server. It save time, also save cost as well. So has got the platform, compute, storage, data store, API, and more. So I just briefly explain, and this is like the case study, the real case study that Coca-Cola company They use the AWS Lambda and the AWS for the cost-effective serverless solution. So we're going to look into Lambda as well. What is AWS Lambda? So here are some of the application in the back end. This is the architecture. So this is AWS S3. We're going to look into that as well. So this is the AWS Lambda, and this is the DynamoDB. So this is like the connection between different services. And alright, so we talked about serverless. Now look into the AWS Lambda. So it'll allow you to run the code without worrying about managing server, and developer or the owner need to only pay for the compute time that you consume. So if you don't use any of the other, says you upload the code and it's only require or it charge you only the amount that you actually use the server, so that you save a lot of money and time, and zero administration. You upload your code and then it take care of the rest, and require you to scale your code with high availability, and you can call it directly from any web or mobile app, say React Native. And the benefits: no server to manage, and it continuous scaling, so we don't need to manage the server. Say we got more customer and then we try to manage the server again and again. So this is the second metering. This is how it works. So upload your code to AWS Lambda and then set up the code, trigger from other AWS services, and then here's the AWS Lambda, and that run your code only when trigger. So it run the code that only happened when, say, we call an API, and it compute only that resource, just pay the compute time you use. So this save a lot of money and use cases. So this is the real-time file processing. And what else you can look into this? So again, case studies, Coca-Cola. Next one is AWS Amazon S3. So what it does, basically it is an object storage service that provide the industry-leading scalability and security, also for as well as the performance. It's mean that customer that use it can store and protect any amount of data with a range of use cases such as websites, mobile application, backup storing, restore, archive, enterprise application, Internet of Things devices, big data analysis. It provides easy to use management so that you can organize the data and configure any control to meet your specific business. And it is designed for 99.99% of durability and store data of millions of applications for companies around the world. So you can already see that Amazon's S3, it's basically storing the data. And here's the benefits: performance, scalability, availability, durability, again cost effective, and it's secure. You can have a look more into this. So now let's see how it works. This is a AWS Amazon's S3, and is the management console. So this is the AWS Lambda, which we have already looked earlier. And again, this like the connection from here and up to here. use cases. So the real case studies, you can already see that Netflix is using these services. Use this service, the Amazon S3, to queue customer around the world. Also use it like for the big data analyst solution as well. Airbnb. So you can already see that big company actually use this kind of service. Next one, we look into Amazon EC2. It's one of the first service that I used during my school projects. And now let's have a look at what it is. It is a web service that provides secure, resizable compute capability in the cloud and designed to make a web scale for the developer. So it allows you to obtain, configure with the minimal friction, and provide you the complete control of your resources, let you to run the proven, and it reduces the time required to obtain a new server. And I would say that is one of the more popular service from Amazon for the developers, both new or kind of experience with the developing the application. The benefits: it's web scale computing, completely controlled, flexible hosting services, secure, inexpensive, easy to start. So this is the feature customer, and how we're gonna start that. So basically just sign up for an account, learn the tutorial, and start with building with AWS. So this is the very first guide that you can actually learn from. So here you can see on the right hand side of the screen, it say AWS free tier include 750 hours of Linux and Windows that each month for 1 year. So to stay with this free tier, use only EC2 micro instances. So if you want to stay within the free tier, that we don't need to pay any price or any fee for using this service. We can just use the small one like the micro instances. So now next one is AWS AppSync. It's also a popular service as well. It powers your application with the right data from one or more data sources at a global scale. So it lets you to create a flexible API to securely access, manipulate, combine data from one to another sources, and it manage that use GraphQL. So for GraphQL, it also available on React.js or React app website as well, and make it easy for the application to get exactly the data that they actually need. So you can build scalable application with the real-time updates, and such as no extra data store, relational database. And here is the API. So here you can also see that your custom data source with AWS Lambda, it can be connected, for example, like mobile, web app, and it provides local access when the device say it's go offline, data synchronization with a customization conflict that they back online says. The benefits start effortlessly, and it scale your business, real-time subscription, offline access, and how it works. So this is AWS, these are the app that actually we are building, and this is the AWS AppSync. So when we want to get something, say we want to have access to the Amazon DynamoDB or Elasticsearch, Lambda, we make a request, and this like in the central of that. And the customer that actually use this, so here's a list of it. Here's Lambda, this AppSync, and this is the client interaction with data as well as data in real time. So it can sit in between this, and this is the backend that generate data and retrieving from something. Alright, so what about next one? The next one is the Amazon Elastic Search service. It's fully managed, scalable, and also secure Elasticsearch service. So it is a fully managed service that make it easy for you to deploy, secure, and also operate Elasticsearch with the zero downtime, and manage by this and visualize it's real time. Basically, this is like the purpose is to search something, to search data coming from the database. So you can see, search, analyze, visualize it in real time, and it let you to pay for only what you pay for. So the benefits: easy to deploy and manage, open source tool, cost effective, highly available, secure, how it works. So these are the input, and this is the Elasticsearch services, and this is the output that coming from what you're searching for. So the customer says Expedia, Prime Video from Amazon itself, and alright, so here this is the Amazon Elasticsearch service. So now let's look at the infrastructure. So here, say we have the web client, the end user that using our website, and it has the connection with the AWS S3 here, the content, and it's coming through to here so that the customer can see what it is, and it's connected with the API gateway. We haven't looked into this yet, but you can search for this term, Amazon API gateway. And then here is the AWS Lambda, is the backend logic, and what it does, it tries to connect with the DynamoDB of the AWS Amazon that actually message the data store. So what is AWS or Amazon DynamoDB? Okay, so now we get some time to actually look into what is DynamoDB. It is a fast, flexible, no SQL database. So there is no SQL for this. It is a key value and also value to fully manage with the backup restore, that you can see the benefit of using it. The main benefit of it can handle more than 10 trillion requests per day. This is one of its function, the main benefits, and it can support up to more than 20 requests per second. So you can see how powerful the AWS DynamoDB is. Many of the world fast growing says like all this big company, Airbnb, such as Samsung, Toyota, also support the missions workload. Hundreds of the customer have choosing this for mobile app, gaming, tech, a lot more. You can see that as this is the benefit of it. Serverless and serverless web app, mobile backend, microservices also use this as well. And the customer say Nike, Samsung, Netflix. So big company like all this also use this service. Next one, we look into Amazon Cognito. We haven't looked into this, but you can search for this term and you will see like what it does. So it tried to get the API gateway from this service, and it point to AWS Lambda that consists of this, like the DynamoDB. We already looked into this. This Elasticsearch service, and this is the S3 bucket where it store all the code. Next one is say this is the user, and this is the client that actually using this, the phone or the website, and the cognito. Also this is the AppSync that it try to get a request from the AWS Lambda, Elasticsearch, and this is the Lambda DynamoDB here, and the REST API. So there are many ways to connect between between all of these services. So for this video, it's a little bit long, but I hope that you can get what the purpose of the video, like a little bit of idea about different services from Amazon, like how it benefits you, how we can actually connect you to different services. And for this video, I'm not going to implement any of this into our React website, but we are going to implement some of this, or maybe all of this one day, and we learn that together as well. So today we look into what Amazon's Amplify is, and what is serverless, what about the Amazon Lambda, Amazon S3, Amazon EC2, this is the AppSync, and the Elasticsearch. Last but not least, this is the DynamoDB. So that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like it, click on the like this video. Also, don't forget to subscribe this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell notification as well. And see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys enjoy this video again. Thanks.